Astral Radiance booster boxes sold out on the Pokemon Center website and immediately saw a huge price increase. And collectors who hadn't bought yet completely missed the boat. At least this time. Because this isn't the first time this has happened. And in fact, in the last year, we've seen it happen at least 3 times. And there's a good chance it's going to happen again. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's been going on in the Pokemon market and why this might just happen again and how you can take advantage of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, and I buy cardboard. Astral Radiance was widely considered the worst set of the last year of Sword and Shield releases. And it still experienced a huge jump from around MSRP at $144 all the way up to $165 US on TCG Player. And this all happened in a matter of weeks as soon as the boxes got sold out on the Pokemon Center website. And this sudden price move exposes some really important details about the Pokemon market. One, there's still considerable demand for Sword and Shield era sets. 2, the Pokemon Center has a massive impact on market prices, at least if the products are in stock. And 3, we know this is probably going to happen again and again and again. And the reason all comes back to the Pokemon Center. Without intending to, the Pokemon Center is a major price manipulator for the Pokemon market. And that's just because on the Pokemon Center website, which is Pokemon's official direct-to-consumer retailer serving the US, Canadian, and UK markets, well, every single product is priced at MSRP, no more, no less. And during the pandemic boom, when Pokemon became super popular and it was impossible to find product anywhere in stock, let alone at prices as low as MSRP, Pokemon Center was sold out constantly and immediately every time new product hit their shelves, because it was literally the best prices you could find just about anywhere. But now that the market's cooled off and we've returned to more of a regular state where Pokemon products are readily available in all kinds of stores, that MSRP price isn't always much of a deal. And in fact, sometimes it's just a terribly overpriced product. And that couldn't be more true for booster boxes specifically, which have a weird MSRP model. See, typically, you'd get a discount for buying any product in bulk, but for whatever reason, the Pokemon Company has decided that that policy doesn't apply to booster boxes. So instead, the MSRP of a booster box is just the MSRP price of the individual booster packs times the number that are in the box. So that's for Sword and Shield, $3.99 US times 36 booster packs equals the strange MSRP of $143.64. And this is exactly what you can buy booster boxes at on the Pokemon Center website. The thing is, we know this is kind of a goofy price for booster boxes because under normal market conditions, you'll just never see booster boxes going for that much at release. We see retailers selling them for closer to $100 and maybe upwards of $120 all day long. And that $144 price just seems miles away. And a lot of times that's just been true. Certainly the last couple of years, many of the sets you could buy booster boxes for on the Pokemon Center website were readily available elsewhere for far less. So naturally, those products just sit in the Pokemon Center's warehouse, where they're just kind of biding their time for the market to catch up. And when it does, well, suddenly those boxes are gone, because this is just the reality we're in, folks. Like, Pokemon is still extremely popular, and people are buying up these products constantly across all types of websites and sources. And so after a while, sets like Astral Radiance have been out for a while and start selling out from a lot of other retailers, and they start slowly jacking up the prices more and more. And suddenly that MSRP price on Pokemon Center starts to look pretty good, maybe even be a steal. But because the Pokemon Center is the official retailer, we've just got to assume they've got tons of these boxes. This is why it's so important when the Pokemon Center actually sells out, because it's kind of like a pressure buildup. The product's been out for a while. People still love Pokemon cards and Sword and Shield sets in particular, and they're slowly buying up more and more product. And eventually, I think the market is just ready to pay a higher price if they have to. They just don't. As long as the product is there on the Pokemon Center and it's available for MSRP, they just keep picking it up at those prices because why not? It's there, it's available, it's easy, and at least at the time, it's relatively well priced. But as soon as that supply dries up, that demand just explodes, and instantly the prices seem to shoot up with it. And it's really just a correction towards what the market is willing to pay after being suppressed by the long-term lower price availability that the Pokemon Center provided for so long. And so we see these jumps in prices, and even with Astral Radiance, we're starting to see that taper off a little bit as the market price just corrects. But then it looks like this $165 price point is probably a lot closer to what the boxes should have been. And as I said, we've seen this at least 3 times in the last year, most recent being Astral Radiance, but also Fusion Strike went out of stock on the Pokemon Center just a couple weeks before and started to see a big spike in price. And Chilling Reign went out of stock on the Pokemon Center in the last year and again saw a nice price spike. Astral Radiance is still technically a year out from rotating out of standard. We could see more reprints. We have no idea what's actually going to happen, but this sudden price move with the sellout on Pokemon Center has shown to be a very common and predictable pattern that we've seen in the market over and over again. So we should take this seriously. And just like that, I mean, we've been bamboozled. Astral Radiance is back on the Pokemon Center. This is Editing Gray stepping in to give a quick update on what's been happening here and whether or not this matters to everything we've discussed so far. What I wanted to emphasize in this video was just the predictable market pattern of booster boxes in particular going out of stock on the Pokemon Center website and then the boom in price that follows. As we look to our next steps, I mean, what does this mean for collectors and investors? And truthfully, I don't think the narrative changes. What we see here is evidence that even with massive supply, there's still substantial demand for these Sword and Shield sets. And we see a pattern of the Pokemon Center restraining the market price of these booster boxes until they sell out. Which means, just how the hell are we going to take advantage of it next time? Well, if you've been following the market, you might already expect what this is, because as of right now, while I'm recording this, Brilliant Stars, Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest booster boxes are all still available on the Pokemon Center at MSRP prices. And these boxes are already selling for slightly more than that MSRP price on TCG Player, having seen a small bump there, maybe in response to Astral Radiance going out and seeing that bump. I think the market is already anticipating this lift beginning to happen. But of course, if you have access to the Pokemon Center in US, Canada, or UK, you don't have to pay the higher prices on TCG Player. You can get them from the Pokemon Center directly at what might be the last bargain buying opportunity that we see for these sets. And look, none of this is investment advice. I'm just a basement dweller speculator wearing goofy hats. But it does feel like, as a collector, this is something to take seriously and to look into. Because I don't know, sometimes the opportunities just seem too obvious, but I felt like I had to throw this out there, and I know I'm not the only one thinking the same. So if you made it this far in the video, I want to hear what you think in the comments below. I read them all, and it means a ton to connect with each and every one of you. Do you expect to see the same type of price move for Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars, or even Silver Tempest? And are you doing anything to prepare for this yourself? Let me know what you're thinking and how you're taking advantage of this opportunity. And of course, thank you so much for tuning into the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray. I buy cardboard. I'll see you in the next video.